Bert, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Thank you. I am phenomenal. I'm road tripping across the country in my tour bus right now, getting ready to start fully loaded.
Now, do you usually get up this early in the morning? I mean, it's like 10 o'clock. Is this early for you, or what's your
I'm
like
in
day
Denver.
like?
I'm in Denver. It's 8:30 here. Yeah, I think it's the one thing people never really can figure out about me is I like to party. I like to stay out late, but I like to get up early. I like to work out. I like to get my day ahead of me, and I got a day off in Denver. So I'm going out to a dispensary, buying a bunch of weed. I'm going to work out with a CrossFit guy, Josh Bridges, today. And then we're going to Casa Bonita, and then we might stop by Burr's show tonight at the arena.
Wow, so you got a lot of stuff going on. See, me, I can't get out of bed until like noon. I'm one of them people. I go to bed 2, 3, but it's tough for me to drag myself out at this time. But so staying in shape, does that help you with the stamina?
Yeah, I think probably the key to my longevity is that I like to work out hard, and so I think that that flushes your system. I drink tons of water before I go to bed, and but I like to get up. Like I have FOMO, so like if I hear things going on in the house or in my tour bus,
yeah,
I immediately can't be in bed. I'm like, what's going on? I want to be a part of that. It's like a childish thing, but it drives me to get up in the morning.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. So you said you're going to swing by the dispensary. Are you a fan of the legalized weed, or do you have a guy, or how do you roll on that?
No, I'm a big fan of weed. I love weed. I think weed is a great tool to tone down the end of the night. And I'm not saying you need to take big bong rips. I took 2 hits of a vape pen last night, got in bed, and watched a documentary called 3 Hours of Information About Communism That Will Put You to Sleep. And I just watched that all night. Weed whispers in your ear at the end of the night. We should watch a documentary on tarpon fishing,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love weed. I love alcohol there too. I love all of it. I like to have a good time,
Right. Well, you were once voted the number one partier at the number one party school in America by Rolling Stone magazine. And I found that amazing that you took that title and ran with it and has turned that into a career. I find that totally amazing.
It's less shocking to hear that Mark Zuckerberg did better with his college career. I mean, like, I am an anomaly. I am a mildly intelligent person who just gets super lucky. And I got lucky when that article was written, and it gave me the confidence to move to New York. And I fell in love with stand-up. I focused on it. And I have a work ethic, but I am at the base just a really lucky kid that good stuff happens. And when it happens, I think the key to luck is capitalizing on it and being there and present and going, I'm ready for it. I want it. And let's see where it takes me.
Yeah, that's a good way to be. So you just pretty much go with the flow. And when that opportunity comes, you jump on it and take it to wherever it goes after that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is following your dumb ideas. Like when you have an idea that people don't agree with, you just kind of listen to your heart. And that's what happened with this festival. I was like, I want to do a summer festival. And they're like, well, yeah, but usually like the big corporations like Live Nation puts that on. I was like, I can do it. I can do it. I can call my friends. I can make my friends. I can rent the tour buses. I have the deals at the arenas. Let's just do it. And you're fair with the money with your friends, so no one ever feels like they're getting ripped off. And you make sure everyone has a really good time. We got 7 tour buses. We got activities planned all during the day. And so it turns into summer camp for comedians. And I really honestly think only a comedian could throw a festival like this because we know what we like and
right.
what makes us comfortable. And the hang is the most important part. So getting the right comics at the right weeks to be around each other is the key,
See, that was going to be my next question. So when you guys are out there, like you say, it's a hang, you guys are having fun, you're cutting up, you're out there, partying together and stuff. So it's the way I've envisioned it, it's like this big party with all these very funny people on stage and off.
Oh, it's like summer camp. It really is. It's the fun. You remember the fun of summer camp when no one wanted to go to bed and the lights were out and you were still making jokes?
Right. Somebody farts and then everybody laughs, and that's crazy.
That is every night on our tour buses. We have a party tour bus that we rent that just has couches and a bar in it. And so we all get on that at the end of the show when bus calls that. We drive for like 2 hours and we party and we laugh like crazy. And then when we're all tired, we pull all the buses over. Everyone gets in their respective buses. But inevitably, you got Big J Okerson not letting it go, and you're all dying laughing. You got Tony Hinchcliffe just can't stop roasting people in their bunks. And it's like the luckiest life you could ever live. My favorite comics are your favorite comics, and I get to live on a tour bus with them.
Oh, that is awesome. Now, Tony is from Youngstown. Tony's a hometown boy here from Youngstown. Does he ever bring up Youngstown at all when you guys are out on the road?
Yeah, we just did a podcast with Two Bears, One Cave with Tony the other day, and I told him, I said, I think people forget you're from Youngstown because he doesn't look like he's from Youngstown.
Right.
He looks like he's from Columbus. But I think that's the coolest thing about Tony, and it's how you get a guy like Tony who just eviscerated that roast. I mean, he is at the top of his game. He is destructive. He will be with us in Canton, and I'm so lucky to have him because, dude, you only get a guy like that is that quick on his feet. You've got to grow up in Youngstown.
Oh, yeah, no two ways about it. I'll tell you, in this town, we have grown up with some really tough-ass ball busters in this town. Youngstown was known for the mob. Youngstown is known for boxing champions. We have 7 boxing champions, Boom Boom Mancini, Kelly Pavlik, guys like that. And the Youngstown area has produced more pro football players per capita than anywhere in America. So, we're a pretty hard, we're a steel town. So I'll tell you what, man, when we were growing up, we had some really top quality number 1 ball busters out there, man. You had to be tough to hang around with these guys because you know what, that make you cry if you let them.
Yeah, and that's how you get Tony Hinchcliffe. I think it's beautiful, and I love that he's getting his flowers, and everyone's realizing just how prolific he is, and that's why I feel so lucky to have him on Fully Loaded. I mean, he's just I've known Tony forever. I've known Tony for probably 15 years. So I love seeing him blow up like this. It makes me so happy.
Oh, same thing, with all of us here in Youngstown. I mean, we are really proud of him. You see him on these podcasts. He's always wearing Defend Youngstown gear and things like that. And, he's a big spokesman for Youngstown. And, boy, just when you see his work on these roasts, he's finally getting the credit. Like that Martha Stewart stuff, that was some of the funniest stuff going. And people are still raving about that, this last one here with Tom Brady, man. I mean, this guy's on fire.
He really is, and he's earned it. He's a guy who's put in his dues. He wrote on those roasts for like years, probably 10, 12 years. He's written on roasts, and he's just, a case of someone getting a shot to show what he's capable of. And, and that's, that also is in part what this festival is putting comics out there that maybe not everyone's familiar with, and going like, yo, you need to see how funny Chad Daniels is. You need to see how funny Big J Okerson, Dan Soder, David Tell. David Tell's last special on Netflix, one of the best specials I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm lucky enough to be friends with these guys and get them out on the road with me because they destroy.
Man, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to, it just, I just get fired up just talking to you about it and knowing these guys and knowing you and knowing what you bring to the stage. It is definitely going to be a good time. Actually, we got 2 shows in our neck of the woods. You're going to be in Canton on the 20th, and then right down the road, we're right next door to Pittsburgh here too. So you're going to be in Pittsburgh too. So you got 2 big shows here.
Yeah, the Paints Arena. It's going to be, yeah, man. It's it's a lot of places like that have given me love too. Ohio's always been good to me. I mean, I've been doing Ohio. I've been in Ohio probably 7 times a year for the last 15 years. And Pittsburgh is the same way. Pennsylvania has been amazing. Philly, Pittsburgh, Harrisonburg. I mean, I've just been really lucky to go to a lot of these places that real people live at. Like not like just real people who have a great sense of humor, don't get offended. They love when you go hard in the paint. They love the whole, everything that is comedy they love. And that's why we picked these cities is I'm like, I'm not doing New York this year. I'm not doing LA. I'm not doing Vegas. I'm doing places where people live.
When you first started out years ago, and I kind of feel a little embarrassed about this, but I didn't know who you were. And you played at the Covelli Center in downtown Youngstown, and the place was sold out. And I don't even think they advertised that show. And that's how I really got into you from there. My son goes, "That's Bert down there, you dumbass." And I was like, and I mean, they didn't really run any advertising or anything. That just, through social media and through your website and your podcast, I mean, you sold the joint out. And it was like, who is this guy? For a minute. And then now here you are. As soon as they say, hey, Bert wants a call, you want to do an interview? I'm like, yeah, I'll get up at 10 o'clock in the morning and do it. But it's amazing on that. Now, let me ask you this. Now, for comedians, has it changed now? Is there like this underground way of you guys getting discovered and people finding comedians like through podcasts and through social media? Has it changed that way? And has that become a big way for comedians to get out and build a following?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the key was this grassroots marketing that we were doing by doing podcasts and sharing each other's content and having each other on each other's podcasts. And it was kind of a cool way to show like a fraternity or sorority, for lack of a better word, of people that all had love for each other, that all were interested in the same things. And so like Rogan was the first one to do it. He'd put us on his podcast and he'd blow up all our dates, and dates would sell out immediately. And so I think fans felt like they were in on a secret because we weren't mainstream.
Right.
We were just doing, like, even when I was mainstream, when I was doing Travel Channel, that never really translated to fans. That was like, it was just like people would watch the show. The second we started podcasting and doing these like YouTube the content, I think people started like sharing the content, and they felt like they were in on a secret. And it's really a great place to be. Is where comedy is right now. It's insane. I can't imagine it's this big. I never thought I'd see it like this.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, with that whole underground or grassroots movement, as you called it, I've been watching that for a few years, and just to see it explode, and having other comic friends out there and seeing how they're taking off or how this has helped them here and there. Man, I think it's amazing. I think it's really cool. I love it, man. It seems like you guys got your own, this whole community and this whole thing going on, and and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now you got what, three or four podcasts out there?
I got 3, I think, maybe 4, and I got a cooking show. I got the festival. I got a vodka. I got so much stuff going on. I'm like shooting my special in July, and I keep reminding myself that's the most important thing.
Right. Hey, one more quick question about the weed. Do you have any favorite brands or anything that you lean to, or what?
Yeah.
What do you?
Well, I'll tell you, Cheech and Chong have a strain of weed. Their line of weed is got to be honest with you, probably my favorite I've ever smoked. But I'm a big fan of this strain called Blue Dream. It is, for anyone out there who gets panic attacks and is afraid of weed, Blue Dream is the key. It is the perfect weed to giggle with your friends, and then your eyes get heavy and you go, I think I'm going to bed now.
That is awesome. Well, Bert, listen, thanks for taking some time out with us. I know you're on a tight schedule here this morning. Can't wait to see the show in Canton on the 20th, 22nd in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a riot. And make sure you tell Tony everybody from Youngstown says hi, and we're pulling for him, and we just love what he's doing, and we're just so glad he's getting his due.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got one better. Why doesn't everyone from Youngstown come out to Canton and let him hear it when he walks on stage? Let him know that he's home and that people got love for him, because that's the key, man. That's the feeling he needs right now. He deserves every good thing coming to him.
That is awesome. Bert, congratulations on year number 3 of the Fully Loaded Tour, and hopefully we'll see you in Canton, and we'll be there to cheer on Tony as well and give him some Youngstown love.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much.